Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for another How to Transform video. In today's video, we're going to keep going with Transformers Revenge of the Fallen because today I've got three figures for you, as you can see. Because today I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2009 Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Scout class, Brakedown, Ransack, and Reverb. Now, before I get going on this, I honestly have a question. Does anybody know what specific classification these guys are? I've always just taken to calling them mini-cons because of the size difference, even though they're a little inconsistent with how mini-cons actually would be. But personally, since a lot of them actually have mini-con names, and now I'm going off the Armada series from that, I've honestly just taken to just labeling them as mini-cons. But anyway, let's get back on track. But if you guys have any ideas, if you guys have any thoughts about that, feel free to let me know down in the comments. All right. So, like I said, I've got three figures for you today, Brakedown, Ransack, and Reverb. All of these are Decepticon characters, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over some details that these guys have while they're in their vehicle mode, and then we'll get on to transformation. So, for right now, we're going to move Reverb and Ransack off to the side. Sorry, Reverb, didn't mean for you to fall over, buddy. All right, be stubborn like that. And I'm going to bring in Brakedown for a close-up. Now, I am not entirely sure what kind of car Brakedown is supposed to be. I will admit, though, I love the design. Yeah, I absolutely have no idea what he's supposed to be, but I have to admit, it's a cool little design. I love how compact it is. Like, from the top, you wouldn't be able to tell that it's a robot. Obviously, flip him over. That's a different story. I will admit that I like the ridges right here on the side. I love the venting right here, the blacked out windows. He's got the Decepticon symbol right there on the hood. He's got this pretty well detailed front end, including the silver headlights, and then of course the bumper guard right here. Look down at the tires, you'll notice that they've got the well inlaid tread pattern design, and I especially love that if you look very carefully, you can actually see where the bolts, where the lug nuts would actually go on the wheels to take the wheel on and off. Turn him around here. He's got another Decepticon symbol where the license plate would be. And of course, he's got these brightly colored red brake lights and the silver streak right here on the back. And of course, he's got this spoiler right here, which all in all, I think this is a pretty cool design. So anyway, there's Brakedown. All right. Now, up next, we have Ransack. Now, Ransack, in my opinion, he kind of makes me think of like a crop duster plane, but I think he's more supposed to be like some type of warplane, because I don't know that many crop dusters that have double-barreled weapons and some little payload bombs right here underneath the wings. I will admit that I do like the fact that this is actually the top of Ransack's head right here, and his head is actually the engine of the plane. So that would mean his face is right here behind the prop, which I think is a pretty neat little detail. I love the ridging right here on the wings to kind of give it that little bit of a character, or a little bit of character. He's got the wheels right here. Unfortunately, these don't spin. I really wish they did. You notice on the top, he's got these really cool, just really unique Decepticon insignias. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like just a sub-faction of Decepticons, or if that's just the design that he had, that he put on when he scanned this vehicle mode. But overall, I have to admit, I love the prop plane design. It's kind of a simple design, but it's a cool design. I love figures that are like this. So anyway, there's Ransack. And then finally, we have Reverb. Now, Reverb, this is actually the first mini-con that I actually got for the movie series. So this guy, oh my gosh, let's see. Yeah, I think I actually got this the day before the second movie came out. So this is by far the oldest, one of the oldest movie figures I have in my collection. Definitely the oldest for my ROTF line, but he's pretty durable. I can't count how many times he's been knocked off the shelf or been dropped, but he's still got a rock solid design. You'll notice right here, it says Causeway Racing. Causeway, as you guys know, is actually another name for Elita 1. And I actually believe Causeway was the name of the combined form of the RC sisters. So RC Chromia and Elita 1, their combined mode was Causeway. I really wish we could have gotten to see that in the movie, but oh well. You'll notice he has the Decepticon symbol right here. He actually has it on both sides, including, or actually, take that back. I am so sorry, guys. That actually says Galaxy Racing. I am so sorry. I apparently can't read today, so I'm very sorry. That says Galaxy Racing, not Causeway Racing. I am so sorry. You'll notice right here, he's got the big number 97 right here on the windshield. Number 97 right there. Number 97 right there. He's got the exhaust right here. And what I especially love is that the exhaust pipe actually becomes his weapon when he transforms. I have to admit, I like that. If you look up in here, you'll see the motor. And that piece right there and that piece right there are actually his feet. And then these panels actually will become the armor plating on his legs, which I think is really cool because of how much detailing they put into his vehicle mode that can then be transferred over to his bot mode. But anyway, so there's Reverb, excuse me. All right, so now comes the fun part because I'm going to move Ransack and Reverb off to the side, and we're going to bring Brakedown back in because now it's time to transform. All right, so the first thing we're going to do with this guy right here is we're actually going to go ahead and... Give me 1 second, guys. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I just kind of had a brain fart there for a minute on how to transform him, but I'm back. All right. So the first thing we're going to do with getting Brakedown transformed is we're going to come right here. We're going to pull these panels off to the side a little bit, and we're going to move what will become his arms. We're going to move them off to the side just like this, and it has a little bit of a little L hinge right there. Go ahead and pop this out right here, pop this out right here, and bring that up just like that. The next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and give it a turn right here and a turn right here. That will make his arms drop down. Now, before we go any farther, what we're going to do is we're actually going to open up his elbows. Now, his elbows are on kind of a double hinge rod right here. We're going to go ahead and disconnect it right there where that connector is right there. And pop that out just like that and bring his arm down. So there he has his elbow joint right there. And he does have a little bit of a wrist joint too, which is kind of neat. And we'll come over here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to disconnect that right there and bring it down. All right. And there we already have his arms ready to go. Frankly, if I saw a car walking on his hands, I'd be a little freaked out. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here. We're going to grab the hood, or we're going to grab the hood of the car. And there are 2 pins right underneath here of the windshield. We're going to bring those down just like this. Now, this part is a little bit interesting because what we need to do is there's a hinge here and there's a hinge up here. We need to bring this hinge up, click it into place, and then bring the back half of his waist back, and then click it. Oh, maybe it doesn't click in. Oh no, it does. There's a little 2 ports right there that these 2 pieces will actually hook into. So why is it not going in? All right, we'll figure it out later. All right, let's just keep going. All right, so we're going to come right here, and we're going to go ahead and grab right here and right here. We're going to split these pieces apart, and we're going to give them a quarter turn forward, so that way the outside of the hood is facing backwards. Go ahead and turn that forward. Then we're going to swing this back and flip this piece down just like this. Swing this piece back, flip this piece down just like this. And there we have Brakedown's legs. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here. We're going to take the top of the car. We're going to push it up, and then we're going to spin it around just like this, so it kind of folds up on itself. And then we're going to take this whole section. We're going to pop it up right there, and there we go. Slide it back first. I am so sorry. Slide it back first, and then fold it up, and that will open up that right there. We're going to try and get this back. Try and get this in now. No, it's not wanting to clip in. I think I might have broke the clip, so I'm very sorry, guys. All right, so far we got that folded back like that. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to come right here. We're going to flip this piece out right here, and that will reveal Brakedown's head. Get his head seated right there. All right, and there we have Brakedown. I apologize for how sloppy that was. Smaller figures are not absolutely my forte with this, and plus these guys have been in a box for quite a while. But anyway, so there we have Brakedown. Personally, not a character I want to mess with. He definitely looks pretty menacing. I know that the Transformers Prime version of Brakedown, in all honesty, is actually my favorite version because of his sheer amount of how brutal he actually is. But I have to admit, having this little breakdown figure is actually kind of cool because honestly, just the colors, they work for him. But anyway, so there's Breakdown. All right, we'll get him set up. All right. And come on, buddy. Okay, what's going on? There, we're going to try and lean him forward a little bit, see if I can get him to stand. All right, there we go. All right, so next up, we have Ransack. Now, like I said, Ransack is a biplane, kind of a warplane, maybe like World War I-esque type plane. Just a single engine prop plane, probably used for crop dusting, and then it was converted into a warplane. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here, and there's a pin right in here, and we're going to disconnect that pin and then swing this piece up just like this. And we're going to come over to the other side, do the exact same thing. Pop this pin out right here, swing this up just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come right here, and you'll see where his hand is. It's actually held on by a pin. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that. We're going to bring this piece out straight. And then we're going to rotate the gun barrels, and we're going to line them up with his wrist. And then we're going to swing it around and bring it down just like this, because that is obviously Ransack's arm. And then just like with that, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Disconnect it from the pin, bring it out straight, turn the little bombs, and then swing that around and give him his elbow joint. And there are Ransack's arms, just like that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and flip down this whole section of the plane, just like this. We're going to bring it down. And then we're going to come up here, and we're going to flip the wings. They're going to disconnect from those braces right here off of these little grip off these pieces right here. We're going to bring these back, and then after we do that, we're going to take these grips right here, and we're going to swing them up and hook them on to give Ransack his shoulders. And then what we can do, if you want, you can fold the wings down behind him, just like this. They don't really sit flush. They're kind of sitting there like literal wings. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here. Now this part, given the age of my guy here, he actually likes to come apart. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by rotating one of the tail stabilizers down, and we're going to swing it around. And then we're going to come up here, and we're going to move this armor plate, what will become part of his leg. We're going to swing that down just like that, which will reveal Ransack's hip. So, yep. So just like I said, this older figure, he's not really the most stable. What we'll do is we're going to actually go ahead and I'll put that back on in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and turn his waist first. And then we'll bring this piece down, and then we'll swing it down because the tail fins actually become his feet. So we have one of his feet right there. And so just like if this was still attached, we'll go ahead and disconnect this right here. Just swing this down next to him. We've already got that tail stabilizer folded down. And we'll just get his leg popped back on there. There we go. And then finally, we're going to come up to the prop. We're going to fold it down and fold it partially down, and then bring his head up, and then fold it the rest of the way down just like that. And there we have Ransack. Kind of an interesting design. I'm not entirely sure if this was exactly how he was supposed to turn out, but it's still it's still kind of a unique design given the simplicity of the aircraft that he turns into. But anyway, there's Ransack. Okay, we'll go ahead and set him up. Hopefully he'll stand a little bit better than Breakdown did. There we go. All right, and finally, we have Reverb. Like I said, Reverb is some type of motorcycle. I'm not entirely sure what kind. His transformation is actually a little bit easier than this guy. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, sorry about that. All right, so like I was saying, Reverb's motorcycle mode is actually pretty interesting. I don't know what happened there. Let's fix that really quick. I don't know what happened. There we go. All right. So for getting Reverb transformed, it's actually pretty interesting. What we're going to do first is we're actually going to come right here, and we're going to grab these panels, and we're going to pull them. We're going to disconnect the connector right there and right there. We're going to pull these off. Now mine, obviously because of how old it is, the panels come off. We'll just reattach them later if they do. But they are designed to come off. They just pop into these pinholes right here. So if they come off, it's okay. Just either put them back on or just put them off to the side, and we'll deal with them later. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is well, first of all, we'll finish doing what we're doing here. And we're going to come right here. We're going to fold these pieces out straight. And what we'll go ahead and do is we'll flip out his feet and flip out his heel right there. And we'll go ahead and flip that out right there and right there. There we are. There we go. We already have his feet ready to go. Let's go ahead and smack that or slap that panel back on. And get that on right there. There we go. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up to the window right here. We're going to take these. We're going to take both halves of it. We're going to pull it apart, and it's on a little hinge right here. We're just going to flip it around and flip it down just like this because that will become Reverb's chest. And we'll go ahead and flip this piece down too, just like this, just like that. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab right here. We're going to pull the seat apart, and we're going to pull the wheel apart because the wheels and the seat will actually become his arms. If I can get them to come apart. They don't like to. There we go. All right, so we'll come up here, and we'll flip these out to the side just like this. Now, before we go all the way up, we're actually going to come back down to his legs because we're going to actually take this connector piece right here, and we're going to feed it right into that port to complete his waist. So there we have his waist ready to go. And then these connectors right here will actually peg right onto those pins right there. Just like that, just like that. And then we'll bring the seat down, give it a quarter turn to reveal the exhaust now becomes his arm. And we'll flip one of the wheels back just like that. Bring that down, turn this just like this, and that will reveal a little hand for him. Flip this back, and then finally, we'll come back here, and we will actually just bring the wheel down behind him just like that. And there we have Reverb, transformed and ready to go. Honestly, given the age of this guy and how many times I've posed him with his cannon out just like this, I'm amazed that he hasn't fallen apart yet. He's definitely seen some wear and tear, but still, these little guys, they're not all the same, but still, some of them are incredibly sturdy. And that's what I love about smaller figures and even like heavily armored figures. They're just insane. But anyway, guys, so there we go. We have that is the 2009 Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Brakedown, Ransack, and Reverb. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below and even hit the like and subscribe button, and I will do what I can to help you out as we go. And until then, bye.